Hi, folks. Andrew here. Popcorn and whiskey. Saturday evening, Saturday night, Saturday, wherever you're from. My day is Saturday right now. I am the face. Who runs the place? That's right. So let's start this off the right way. A little bit of cheers. Salute. Here we go. Tonight's show, we're going to be discussing a few things. So, yeah, I got to laugh because it's something that has just recently in the last half hour happened to me. So this is pretty interesting. Um, friendships, friendship breakups, I guess. I don't know how else to call it. What else to call it? And reasons for it. Olympics. Going to get into the Olympics a little bit. Going to get into job hunting and online stuff. And everything just seems so white. I mean, really, really bright white. It's like everything. Wait a second. When I did that, you see how the lighter the face gets? Okay, let's see if I tone this down a little bit. See if I can do that real quick here. Not that one. Whoop. Woo. That just changed colors completely here. Tone that down a little bit. Then it gets too dark almost. Oh well, you got to live with it. I'm going to live with it. So that's how it goes. Anyway, we are triple casting tonight once again. Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. I keep saying YouTube's going to go away, but I keep going back there, and I don't know why. Honestly, it's just there because because of the plan I'm on. Because I use the StreamYard is my platform where I do my live streaming from, and I'm allowed up to 3 places at once where I could live stream. And so those are the 3 I'm choosing. So I would go on Rumble, but unless they've changed, which I haven't gone on there for a while, so maybe I need to go back and check them out. But I haven't gone on Rumble for a while. Maybe I should do something different there. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about the Olympics. All right, the medal count of the Olympics right now. And this is after day 1, or I guess it'd be day 2. I guess I don't know exactly when they started. The first day of the events. I guess they were a couple of days ago. So maybe this is day 2. For me, it's day 2 because the opening ceremonies were yesterday. So we'll just leave it at that. Anyway, as of right now, according to my source, which is Google, Italy has a total of 3 medals. Japan has a total of 3 medals. Norway, 3 medals. Sweden, 2 medals. USA, zilch right now. But I'm sure that will change really quick. Really quick. This morning, and I keep forgetting that Italy is 6 hours ahead of where I am right now. So when I woke up this morning, I didn't even bother turning on the television yet, because I figured I go out to breakfast on Saturday mornings with a bunch of other folks. And I said, when I come home, I'll turn on the Olympics and I'll start watching the day's Olympics, the different things. Now that I subscribe to Peacock, and with Peacock, you can view different events, if you will. All right. So I said, that's cool. I could watch it live because NBC only covers silly stuff, if you ask me. Like all day long, they were covering ice skating, figure skating and stuff. So I said, okay, when I get home, I'll watch it. Again, not even dawning on me that they're 6 hours ahead. And it was already live. This morning, I could have been watching it when I woke up, but I didn't. So I get to breakfast, and somebody was telling me that they watched the women's cross country skiing. Like, oh shoot, I love that. That's one of my favorites. That and the biathlon, the one where they ski in the snow, then they stop and then they shoot. One of those kind of things. Those are my 2 favorite sports. Also love the downhill, which I guess it was today or yesterday, whenever it was. Bobsledding, really like the bobsledding as well. Those, I get into hockey a little bit, and curling's cool to watch as well. So I get home and I see what's going on live, and it wasn't anything really that was live. Oh, except the it's not bobsledding, but it's when they go down on one person goes down on their backs on the sleds, whatever it's called. I think the skeletons when they go down on their bellies, and I think the luge is when they go down on the back, or vice versa. Whatever it was, this was cool if you saw it. The person starts going down the track, and right behind them they have a drone, an ice drone that's following them down, so you can see the back view of them as they're going. It was pretty cool. I like that. That was neat if you haven't seen it yet. But go check it out. So I was watching that for a little bit, and I said, well, I want to watch this girls cross country skiing thing. So went over to Peacock and was looking around, and I don't like their interface. I think it's extremely difficult to maneuver, at least to get to. Once you finally find it, then yeah, it's okay. I think it could be a lot more user friendly, but I'm not on the creative team over at Peacock, so I can't tell them how to do it. I just think it's not very user friendly is all. But anyway, I finally found it, and my word, that is something. That those athletes, men, women, whatever, those athletes on that particular sport, that's a grueling sport. You talk about being in top physical condition. I used to think that triathletes were probably the most toned, conditioned athletes in the world, all around athletes. That's my opinion. But I might have to put them in second place now that I'm watching this cross country skiing. Holy moly. I don't even know all the ins and outs about it, but wow, you're watching that, and wow. So I'll watch that. Then I turned it to the live TV, see what NBC was covering, and lo and behold, they had speed skating. And I caught the last, 20 minutes of speed skating. The women's, I don't know if it was 3,000 meters or 5,000 meters, whatever it was. I'm going to guess it was the 5,000 meters. No, I'll take it back. I'll guess it was a 3,000 meters. Well, whatever it was. The Italian chick, what's her name? I like this name, Francesca Lollobrigida. She set a new Olympic record. That chick was flying around there, man. You talk about with 2 or 3 laps to go, they didn't know what was going on. Let's see, what is this? This is example. Click on a comment to show it on screen. Okay, well, I'm not doing that. All right. So this chick was starting to fly, man. She was yeah, hey JD, give me a few minutes, all right, buddy? Yeah, we're gonna try the call in today. JD's gonna call in to see how it works with the call in show. We'll do that in a second. Let's see here. Okay, I tell you what, let me get it all set up on my end, JD, and we'll do it since I am talking about the Olympics right now, just to see. Okay, if I do that, then I'll have to come over here and do this. Hold on a second, JD. Right here. If I click on that, and then I come over here and I do this, share my screen, make sure the audio's on, voice calls, do that. Okay, my friend, the number to call in, 765-505-7348. This is my buddy JD. He's been on several times. He has a couple of shows going on as well, but he's going to give this number a call, hopefully, and I'll be able to put him on the line. Again, 765-505-7348. See if it, let's see, and I'm going to go from ringing to your house to play sounds. Okay. All right. And if you're doing it, and so far I haven't gotten anything yet, so maybe I don't have this set up right. Let me see. What's it say here? Wait, your browser settings might prevent calls from ringing. Change your browser settings to allow to play a sound. Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. All right. Yeah. The thing is, you know what? I've been doing this for a while, and I bet, because I never had a phone call yet, is because it doesn't make a sound when somebody calls. I just happened to be on the.
Oh man, you might want to. Yeah, you might want to look into trying to get a notification or something for that. How many people might have called you?
Yeah. So now I got to see if you're actually being broadcast on my page. If your sound is coming through, right here. Let's see here. Yes. Okay. All right. So yeah. All right. We're good. So this thing does work. All right. Because I'm using Google Voice right now to call in. So there you go. So
All right, sweet.
so this is my buddy JD. He is in a situation right now where he's in the process of changing living quarters, living locations. So his show has been on hiatus. He has a couple of shows going on. What? Go ahead and tell people about the shows that you currently own and host right now.
Yeah, Mayhem Media. That's for entertainment and everything. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Rumble. So you can find us. Just search Mayhem Media. That's for all entertainment, sports, TV, movies, wrestling, all kinds of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Boiling Point podcast is like politics and real world stuff, faith, etc. And that's the Boiling Point podcast.
Okay. There you go. So check those two out, folks. Subscribe to them over at Facebook, or if you don't know how to get to them, contact me and I'll make sure I get you over to JD and he can get you all kinds of contacts. No problem there. So, all right, my friend, you're an Olympic guy. I know you told me this in the past. So have you been watching the Olympics?
Yeah, I'd be doing crazy Olympic coverage if I wasn't in the process of moving right now. That was my initial plan. I was going to be deep in the Olympics, doing multiple episodes a week, live watch-alongs, the whole 9 yards. I had it all planned out, and then I ended up having to move, which wasn't part of the plan. That was not planned, by the way. That's why we're in the situation we're in right now, is because that was not planned on. We didn't foresee that coming.
Hey man, life happens sometimes. You just gotta go with the flow. That's what it's all about.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. But I'm still a fan, so I'm still watching, even though I can't cover it like I want. I'm still watching it. I've been watching the majority of the Olympics pretty much since '96, really.
All right. Well, I try to catch as much as I can, and I guess I don't know if you heard me earlier, but Peacock is showing it, and I have the Peacock network. But I think their user interface it sucks. Their user interface
really?
sucks. I don't like it at all.
I mean, it's a little hard. Like I could see the first time when NBC started Peacock and their whole streaming service. The first year, the first Olympic coverage was definitely not the best. They have since picked it up since then. I think Peacock does a great job of it. I do understand how the interface in the Olympics is a little bit of a pain. It's not as organized as you might want it. But the best way to do it is just to go by sport. Is if you're looking to watch a sport, go to that sport in the interface, and then there should be a whole list of either things that have already aired or a schedule of when the next things are coming up.
Right. I get that. Now, the actual coverage itself, I think they do a wonderful job of doing it with all the different events. But for me, the interface, the Peacock interface, it was hard to navigate. At least it was hard to find at first because I kept clicking on stuff and nothing came up. So yeah, it
is hard. It is hard. That's why the best thing that I recommend for people is to try and do it by sport. That's the best way to find actual.
Right, I get that, but you have to get to it first. And to me, it's not something it just pops up like everything else does.
No, last Olympics they had a whole, like, as soon as you went into the Olympics interface, right at the top of the screen were all the different sports, so you could go right to where you wanted to go. Yeah, this year it's not in the same place, and it's definitely a little more disorganized.
Right. Yeah, at the Summer Olympics 2 years ago, it was great. I mean, you just clicked on Peacock and boom, it was all right there. This morning I had to hunt and peck and find my way around there. I can just imagine somebody older who isn't into technology as much. My mom couldn't do it. There's no way my mom could do it.
Yeah, it's not as organized as it has been the past two Olympics. The previous Summer Olympics and then the last Winter Olympics were some of the best. But I don't know why they decided to change it, but it is more unorganized now for sure.
Now the coverage, the commentators, at least for the chicks this morning, the cross country skiing chicks, the commentators were good. I like that. And then the speed skating. The women's speed skating today, whoever doing the commentary for that, they were good. I really like them.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to see the speed skating yet, but the cross country skiing, the commentators across Peacock are pretty good.
Yeah.
Now that's also improved too. The first time the Peacock did live streaming on the on the replays, they didn't even have the commentary. So you were watching gymnastics or watching figure skating or whatever, and there was no commentary on the reshow. So, which made it really hard to watch unless you knew
Wait
what
a
you were
second.
looking at.
I have to disagree with that, because at least for the Summer Olympics, because I did a lot of replay watching in the Summer Olympics.
No, it was in 2018. It was before the 2020 Olympics. It was the first time that they had started doing the Olympics on Peacock.
I don't remember
the very
that far
first
back.
year. Yeah, it was the very first year that they had the Olympics on their Peacock live streaming service. It might have even been 2016 actually.
Yeah, I don't think I had it then. No, I don't think I had it then. So,
but it's come a long ways, and the commentators are great. They've done a great job with the commentators across all the sports.
That I have to agree with, because whatever sport I have watched on the Peacock on the network, the commentary has been great. That is one thing that I really take to heart, because that's a pet peeve of mine when somebody does a horrible job with it. So, and that's something I really like. So there you go. So what did you watch today then? What have you watched?
We watched last night. I didn't get to watch much today.
Did you watch the opening ceremonies?
Yes, I did watch the opening ceremonies. I thought they were very good.
I did too.
It was nice to not see any, blasphemous imagery or undertones in the opening show.
Like
that
in Paris.
That was good.
Like in Paris.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm referring to. Yes. So that was a good thing, and I like it. I don't think the opening ceremonies don't have to be such an elaborate show. I think that they did great this time. I think it was not too long. It was good, like 20-25 minutes of shows, and then then the Parade of Champions or Parade of Athletes. I apologize. After that, so yeah, I think it was a really good opening ceremony. Nice, simple, easy, some good singers.
Yes. Well, Italy's known for some pretty good singers. So Italy's known for that.
Yeah.
I like how they and I didn't see it at the very beginning, so I didn't realize this, because I kept seeing athletes coming in different settings. I'm like, what's going on? Why are they doing this?
Yeah.
And then they repeated, and they said that they have 3 different settings where the athletes come in at 3 different locations around Italy. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yep.
And how they synced it up to and made it go so smooth. I mean, whoever produced that or directed that or whatever, I got to give a hat tip to those guys. They did an excellent job with that.
100%. Not just with the actual, like, whoever was directing it, like from point to point, like whoever was overseeing it, but also who was ever in charge of the TV, of the actual cameras and stuff too.
Yes.
They did a pretty good job at that as well. And yeah, it was weird having them. I agree. It was weird having the athletes in different locations. Normally they're all in the arena. But it was weird to see the countries all split up, especially some of the smaller countries that don't have that many athletes.
Well, that's what I couldn't understand. Like the ones that they had like 2 or 3 athletes, how were they in different places? I guess because you have the flag bearer, who doesn't have to be an athlete; they're just a flag bearer of the country, which is fine. I don't want to say just as in putting it down, because that's a huge honor, huge responsibility. So, but they have 3 different flag bearers and things of that sort. So. It was cool. It was cool.
The actual flag bearer was still designated only as either 1 or 2 people, and then they only carried it in 1 or 2. The person carrying it in the 3rd location or whatever wasn't necessarily designated a flag bearer. But the reason they did that was because of the distance between the venues.
Well, yeah.
And I think that is something that we're going to see a lot more of in the Olympics moving forward.
Yes.
Because taking over a whole city really is logistically difficult to do, to have multiple venues within like a 30-minute drive or something like that. That's really difficult to do in a city that's already been built. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that. I think you're going to see a lot more of like where it's a city, like a primary city, but then it's like a secondary host city too. And I think you're going to see that a little bit more moving forward, actually, because I think logistically, I bet it's been a lot easier for the athletes and the Olympic Committee to oversee everything and to have everybody where they needed to be, because and the reason they did that is because there's a 2.5-hour drive from the main city to one of the other cities. Then it's a 2-hour drive to another city, and then it's a 3-hour drive to the last city, which is where the skiing is. So that's why they had them all in different locations, because it's such a long trek.
Right. Which I can almost guarantee you're going to see that in the U.S. Because the U.S. are they hosting the next Winter Olympics? Is it?
No, actually, I think they're getting the summer. I want to say the Summer Olympics, and I think they're going to be in L.A.
Let me think about this for a second. Yeah. Okay. Wait, because this is the Winter Olympics, because the last 3 countries that came into the stands last night was the United States. I don't know the second one, the next to last, and then Italy, of course, the host country. And they say they do that for the next 2 Olympics coming up. So that's why I'm thinking, is the U.S. doing it?
Yep, 2028. We have the Summer Olympics, Los Angeles.
Well, then who was the other country that came in before Italy?
It was, hold on one second, and I will tell you.
Was it France because they hosted the last one? The Summer Olympics?
Or actually, no, it might be going back to France again. No, they're going back. They're going to the French Alps in 2030 for the Winter Olympics.
Okay. So that was okay. So interesting. And then, well, they said they're going to Utah in the Winter Olympics. I don't know what year, but it said Utah.
Let's see.
Utah here in the U.S. So
Salt Lake City is the 2034 Winter Olympics. So they will get the Winter Olympics after France.
Okay.
So Los Angeles is coming up in 28 for the summer. And then 2030 will be back to France for the French Alps. Then 2032 is Brisbane, which I'm actually not 100% sure where that is.
Brisbane, isn't that is Australia?
Is it?
Brisbane? No, I don't know. Maybe that's Brisbane, not Brisbane.
Oh, yes, it is. You're right. No, you're 100% right. It is Brisbane, Australia.
Hey, look at me, Mr. Geography here. Look at me.
Yep. So that's 2032 Olympics, and then it'll be back to Salt Lake City in 2034 for the Winter Olympics.
Wow. Here's a little did you know about Andrew. Quick fact here that in 96, no, 90, maybe it's 94. Whenever the last Utah Olympics were, whatever year that was, 92, 94, whatever the Utah Olympics were. There is a local guy who was on the U.S. Olympic bobsledding team, and he's a family friend. He's a big time athlete, nicest guy in the world, and he had his bobsled on display at the local mall, and I happened to be at the mall that night when he had it on display. Me and a buddy of mine, 2 buddies of mine, we're walking around. They see him. I go over to him. His name is Rex. Says, "Hey, Rex, hello." Big man bear hug and blah blah blah. We started talking, and the mall was closing up, and he had to move his bobsled, but his help didn't show up. I said, "Hey, we got guys here." So it was me, 2 of my buddies, and Rex picked up the USA bobsled, 4-man bobsled, and was carrying out to where we needed to go. That sucker's heavy, but it was a real U.S. bobsled. It was cool.
Yeah. How heavy? So you said it was heavy?
Oh my God, these things are heavy. They're massively heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, they look. I mean, with the frame and stuff, they look like they're pretty heavy.
Yep. So yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, actually. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So all right, so I don't have the schedule up for tomorrow. Do you have the schedule in front of you here for tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, I think they're going to have some sort of cross country skiing tomorrow morning. I think.
Yeah, the cross-country skiing usually takes place. Thursday, I think, is actually going to be some of the next.
Now I got to look it up. I'm looking it up here. Let's see. Results and schedule. All right. Yes, I'm happy with the settings. Okay. Sunday, February 18th. At 2 a.m., you got the women's luge. 3 o'clock snowboarding.
Wait, what's the date you're... Oh, wait. What's the date you're looking at?
Sunday the 8th, tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was... Okay, hello.
4:05 a.m. curling again. Alpine skiing at 5:30. Cross-country skiing at 6:30. I might have to set my alarm for that. And the 10K plus 10K skiathlon. I don't know what that is. I don't know.
The skiathlon. I was just watching that. That was what I was watching a little earlier.
What is that?
Skiathlon. It's like a biathlon, but it's two skiing segments. It was a 10 kilometer of what they called the old style or classic style of cross
Okay.
country skiing, and then it was immediately followed by a 10 kilometers of what they call the freestyle skiing.
So that's what the chicks were doing this morning then. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at today's. Yeah, that's what the chicks did this
Yep.
morning. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Yeah, that was
whatever the one where they ski in the snow, then they stop and then they shoot. I don't know what day that is, but that's called a biathlon, I think.
No, the biathlon.
Yeah, I think it's called the biathlon.
You might be right.
I might be. I am right. Dagnabbit.
I think you are right, actually. Yes. The biathlon is the skiing and the shooting. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's on later on this week.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. I like that. There's really not much of Winter Olympics that I don't like. It's except for curling. Curling is really the only thing I'm not a big fan of.
Curling is so cool, dude. Curling is cool. I don't like the figure skating. I can do without the figure skating. The snowboarding.
That's so much. I like the figure skating, but I grew up with my mom, aunts, and stuff who all loved figure skating. So it's like an acquired taste. You know what I mean? After decades of watching it. So I put that on, and there's some of that on tomorrow afternoon. The team event figure skating is still going on. They're going to do the team event before they start doing the individuals.
Okay.
And the luge starts tomorrow.
Well, it was today as well, some of the luge.
Yeah, I guess so. Yes, I'm just seeing that too. Yes.
Because and I don't know if you heard what I was saying earlier. It was cool because they show the people, the guys, they take off on the track, and then right behind them they have a little drone that's like a skating drone behind them, showing the backside of them is falling down the track. It was the coolest thing.
Cool. Nice! I haven't gotten to see that yet. That's got to be a better way of the way they've been doing it in the past. I mean, it's always been camera to camera to camera.
Which it still is, but now they have the other view as well, so which is cool.
Well, yeah, they got to get people accustomed to the new view. You can't just do that. People will be freaking out. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But I think that eventually that'll likely be one of the norms. I think is like following behind it in like a drone or something. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to watch as much as I can. I just got to remember it starts early in the morning. When I get up, just instantly turn on the television because I usually don't turn on the TV. But now I'm going to have to watch the Olympics.
Yeah. Usually I have it on when I'm at my home and stuff. I usually have it on my TV from start to finish. With where we're at now, I'm going with like DVR, like the stuff that they just have on their streaming service. I'm just rewatching it.
Okay. So when is your do you have a projected move-in date or anything, or if you don't want to say, don't say. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just curious.
No. I should be moved in before March. That's the ultimate goal, is to be hopefully moved in before March gets here. So okay. I should be back to going and doing podcasts and stuff by the beginning of March.
Good. I'm looking forward to it because I know that some of the teasers you put up about challenges and issues.
We got so much. We got so much stuff coming. And that was something that develops obviously with what I've been experiencing. So yeah, I'm going to do like a mini series, probably maybe 3 episodes or maybe 4. Okay. We'll see, about talking about what I went through with this move and with the hotels and with trying to find a place and all that stuff.
Okay. Well, cool. All right, dude. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. I tell you what, I'm gonna go solo the rest of the time. I got a couple of personal things I want to get into, but thanks for giving me the Olympic update.
Yeah, cool, man. Thanks for having me on. It was nice to do this in the absence of being able to do my own show. So we might have to get a little bit of my fix in.
We might have to come in later on this week and do another one Monday or Tuesday night, something like that. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, man. Hit me up anytime.
All right, my friend. Take care. Thanks a lot.
All right. Catch you later.
Bye. That was my buddy JD. Go check out his Mayhem Media podcast and the Boiling Point podcasts. Great shows. Go over there and check them out. So, all right. So, what do I have going on? Holy moly! Couple of things hit me like a ton of bricks last night and today. Last night I was on a panel discussion, and I guess this is a new fad. I don't want to call it a new fad. It's a new fad to me, put it that way, that people are doing over on YouTube, where they're just opening it up. They being the host of that particular channel opens their show up to whoever wants to go on and talk about whatever topic they're talking about, and they're calling them panel discussions. Okay, so I just happened to come across one channel on one night as I'm just scrolling through. I'm like, this is interesting, and I'm watching, and the way this person has it set up, and I just tell you the name because I'll give her a plug. It's called the Raging Tomato. She does a really good job of it, and she's a great host doing this. And I was a lurker for a little bit watching, and so I got on the panel a couple of weeks ago. It was fun. It mostly talks about politics, right? It mostly talks about politics. Sometimes they get into other discussions. Like last night, they talked about, and I guess it all boils back down to politics as well: gun control, legalization of guns, and women, guys and women's sports, stuff of that sort. And I was not speaking up much, and so I don't want to get into a lot of details because I don't want to confuse anybody. But at one point, I did start speaking up, and then she isolated me and another person to debate back and forth, which I wasn't prepared to do that. That's not an excuse, just not my forte. I wasn't prepared to do that at all. The other people were. They're like lawyerly scholars or something because they had all this case study stuff that they were throwing at me about that particular subject. It was about immigration. I mean, this guy had, well, on such and such versus the US, or such and such versus this and that versus this, and this case law and this case law. I was like, what the heck is going on? I don't know anything about case law. So I would look like a total fool. I'll be the first to admit it. Yeah, I did not look good in this one at all. But I did say, I said, dude, so how many illegal immigrants do you have shacked up in your house then, since you're so pro illegal immigrant? And it kind of made him mad, and he kind of got really sassy with me at that point. But the rest of the time, I had my ass handed to me. I freely admit it, no problem. Those guys were way more prepared than I was, and if it was a debate per se, as in who won, who lost type thing, I definitely lost. No question about it. I lost. Okay, no problem. Hey, that's what happens. You got to take the good with the bad, right? I always say that. There can't be good unless there's bad. There can't be bad unless there's good. There can't be light unless there's dark, and there can't be dark unless there's light. Okay? All that being said, these last couple of weeks, last couple of months really, if you've been following me at all on my top fitness strategies, I've page in business, I've taken everything from different places that I had the business all scattered around the internet, and I put it in one local hub over on Substack. And it's go to topfitnessstrategies.com over on Substack. So that's where we're being housed. And also I'm networking with another group of folks in a community called School, SKOOL. And I'm in a couple of groups over there. I don't have a particular group. I just go on, and I'm a lurker, so to speak, and learn and develop friendships and hopefully business transactions and business partners, blah, blah, blah. Some of these pages have group calls, group sessions, ask me anything, let's talk business, networking, however you want to phrase it, where a bunch of people get on the call. Sort of like the panel discussions, but it's like an open forum talking about your particular business. No politics at all. It's strictly business and socializing and networking, okay? Something like that. Through that course of networking, being on these calls and everything else, I've developed a couple of online friendships with somebody, with different people. And a couple of people, one was from England and one's from Chicago. We scheduled a one-on-one calls so we can chit chat about different things. So I talked to the one from England, and she actually grew up close to where my mom and dad grew up in Italy. It was pretty cool. We started talking that way. And so she became a networking buddy of mine. The one from Chicago, her and I really hit it off, not in a romantic manner, but more of a, man, we're so like-minded about what's going on with business-wise and what we're trying to accomplish on the internet. She has something completely different than I do, completely different than I do. And so we were bouncing ideas off of each other. I said, this is what I got going on. This is what she's got going on. And I told her about my Andrew and Clinton thing going on, and she's always wanting to hear about that. And if you don't know about that, I'll talk about that in a minute as well. I said, great. It seems like we hit it off pretty good. Let's continue this. Maybe every couple of weeks we'll touch base and chit chat. She said, no problem. Great. A couple of days go by. A couple of messages. Hey, how's your Andrew and Clinton thing going? How's it taking off? I said, it's better than I thought it would be. It's still a slow mover, but it's better than I thought it would be. And so I'm having fun with it. And she asked where it was and Facebook pages. So I gave her, and she subscribed to my pages and blah, blah, blah. Great. So last night, I am watching the opening ceremonies, yesterday afternoon and also last night, the opening ceremonies for the Winter Olympics. And when the U.S. came out, now, as every country came out with the parade of athletes, as they call them, the camera tried to pan to the top officials of that particular country, presidents, prime ministers, leaders, whoever was there representing that particular country. All right. So when the U.S. came, they had Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife up there. And so I posted, hey, there's our VP J.D. Vance in the house. Woo, woo, woo. All right. Just posted it like that. I even forget how I phrased, but I said, J.D. Vance in the house. Go J.D. or something like that, whatever it was. All right. That's it. Nothing else. I get a message from this person today. She's saying, I don't think we can be friends anymore because you support J.D. Vance and you must be a MAGA guy. So we can't be friends anymore. Pretty much what it said. And I said, okay. I said, and I wrote her back. I said, I'm not going to try to convince you to be my friend or anything. But if you're wanting to base a friendship strictly on politics, maybe we shouldn't be friends to begin with. I said, I never asked anything about your politics and things that way. But if you want to reach back out to me, feel free to. But hey, it's hasta la vista, baby, as they say. So I got to say, people on the left, you guys are one weird bunch. You are one weird bunch. And that's all I got to say about that. Woo, mercy. If you're willing to pass up on not just a business relationship, but a friendship as well. And once again, I'm not talking a romantic thing whatsoever. It's more of a friendship type thing because her and I hit it off pretty well. A lot. It's just a natural conversation as we were talking back and forth. Just a natural conversation. It wasn't hard pressed or anything of that sort. So it was just a nice flow conversation we had. But I got that bombshell given to me today. And then I just got the message up right before I came on here. So I'm like, wow. I would read you the message, but why bother at this point? Why bother? If people need to be that petty, what's the point, right? What is the point? So, so if anybody's watching right now and wants to unfriend me or unfollow me because of my politics, I don't tout my politics much. I used to. I freely admit I used to quite a bit. I don't do it much at all because there's no point in it, in my opinion, unless you want to stir up controversy. Yeah, I get it. Now that I am monetized on Facebook, and by that I mean I can make money by posting different things on Facebook. I get it. Why a lot of people are doing it, especially if they're monetized, because it creates controversy. It's like if you understand professional wrestling, back in the 90s, there was a battle between the WCW and the WWE or WWF at the time. Then they changed to WWE. There's a controversy. I mean, there's a big rivalry going on. And after all that was finished, they merged together. Long story short, I'm not going to get into it. But during all that, Eric Bischoff who was the guy in charge of WCW, wrote a book saying controversy creates cash. I'd never read the book, but I should always remember that title because I thought it was a brilliant title. So it always stuck in the back of my mind. I'm like, stuck in the back of my mind. It always stood in the back of my mind. How, you know what? And it's right. And it just dawned on me recently. You think it was done a long time ago, but sometimes the skull up here doesn't really get things right away. It takes a while. But I'm like, that's what somebody's doing. That's what a lot of these people are doing. They're creating not so much controversy, but they're creating, what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm looking for the word, not controversy, not criticizing, not because they're having people engage in conversations, but not debates. I can't think of the word top of my head. I'll think of it here in a little bit, but whatever the word is, I'll think of it. But so that's what they're doing. And through that interaction, they're creating something, and I get it now. So maybe I should throw in some politics here or there to start creating that. Let's see here. Thanks, JD. He's coming to give me some views. Appreciate that, JD. But unless you listen to me now and see some of the things like right here, my hat, 45, 47. Yes, I am a pro MAGA guy. I'm a MAGA guy. If you don't like it, don't know what to tell you. It's on you, not on me. I don't dislike you because you might not think the same way I do, might not have the same beliefs I do. I will tell you, I am a strong believer in America first. And if you were in Canada, I think you should be Canada first. If you're in England, you should be England first, or whatever country you're in, you should be that first, period. I don't see how there could be any other way from that. I also, JD should start talking about politics. I also believe in law and order. Call me kooky, but I support the blue. I support ICE. Yeah, I support law and order. I pretty much obey all the laws except for maybe speeding. Sometimes I'll go over the speed limit here and there. Yes, sue me, whatever. I'm telling you what, I got this. My face is being washed out by these lights, and I got to do something different with the lights. If I go like this, it's better. Stop for, but then I got the shade in my face, so I got to figure out what I'm doing with the lights. If I turn this one off all the way, it's a little bit of more of an ambiance. This one is right here. This is my problem child right over here. That's my problem child. So let me see if I can get that one. I see I can't do that either. And I just noticed this yesterday when I was on that panel discussion. It didn't go like I wanted it to. See, it's all washed out. Yes, I know I'm being picky here, folks. It's all washed out. Now it's too dark. Put a little bit of brightness there, a little bit of brightness here. Okay, I have to figure that out on my own sometime. I have to do something with the camera. But anyway, I have coffee 2 or 3 times a week with a gentleman who is ultra left. And he tells me the other day, we hardly ever talk politics, but we both know where each other stands. He says, "You're a Trumpster, right?" I'm like, "You damn straight I am." And he asked me a couple of questions, and I told him he didn't agree with me. And the questions were insignificant. It doesn't really matter what they were. He didn't agree with me at all. And but that didn't stop us from finishing our coffee and drinking and having a good old time. So he's one of the guys that do it right. Okay. Now, if you don't want to associate with me because of my politics or political views, hey, that's on you. That's on you. I kept the door open for this person and said, "Hey, you want to be friends with me? You be friends with me." The door's open, but I'm not going to be chasing you down. One of those kind of things. I'm not doing that. Anyway, so that's enough of beating that dead horse for a while, huh? All right. So Something else I was going to get into, change of topics here. Like my segues, if we want to call them that, it's not really a segue. It's just getting to another thing. This is crooked also here. I think I sound okay while using this microphone, don't I? Yeah. I haven't changed over to the other microphone in a long time because I'm just too lazy to do it, and I don't want to keep changing that all the time. So I'm not going to get into a lot of the backstory on this one because it's not needed. But what I do online right now is not making enough income to be a full-time job. It is what it is. Is it making something? Yeah, it's bringing in a little bit of money, just not enough to be full-time yet. So I'm in need of a day job, so to speak, or a career, or however you want to phrase it. Okay, all right, however you want to phrase it. I used to be a teacher at a high school. Before that, I was a substitute teacher. The job I had went away. I didn't get fired. I didn't get let go. I didn't get replaced. The job ended. Okay, basically, is what it was. It was a state-funded job, and the state decided they're not going to fund the job anymore. Not just mine, all over the state. At almost every high school, at least 250 high schools had this position in there. So most of them, I think 225 actually went away. Something like that. 226 went away, and mine was one of them, unfortunately. So put me in a position where I don't have a day job. I have been looking. I've been throwing resumes out everywhere, and I'm not trying to put one type of profession on a pedestal and another one down. Nothing like that at all. So don't think that way when I in case I don't phrase this properly. I have been approaching this at first with precision. My resume, approach it with precision. Okay, I have this kind of background, trainer, teacher, speaker, things of that sort. I also have management in my background as well. Okay, so for the first couple of months, I was going after those type of jobs. Kept getting rejection letters. Every turn I had rejection letters. I'm also in a unique position where I'm not able to relocate, and I won't get into that either. It's irrelevant to the story. So let me take a drink before I lay back. So that being said, I said, just screw it. I'm just going to start applying for everything I possibly can. Whether I qualify for it or not, if it's local and if it's something that I can do, that's something I feel I can do, and something that doesn't require a whole lot of stress, because at my age, I don't want to get into a whole lot of extra paperwork and stress anymore. I just don't want to anymore. Sorry, I don't. I'm also not going to do retail. I will get fired from retail because I'm sure I'll hit somebody eventually. Same with fast food. Ain't going to do it. Don't want to put up with it. I don't want to put up with those kind of employees. Sorry. Don't want to put up with the kids, even though I'm a high school teacher. Different atmosphere there. Okay. Been applying to general labor type companies. Again, not putting that down whatsoever, because you can make some damn good money doing that kind of stuff. But I'm also not doing the back breaking labor type stuff either. I'm not in a union. So, and I think I'm almost too old to get started in the union, to get into it and go that way. I just feel like I'm too old for that. I've been applying for different factory type works around here. Everybody's telling me that this factory is hiring, this factory is hiring, this factory is hiring. I'm not beneath or above factory work one way or the other. I used to work in a factory myself. I get it, understand it. Damn good money to be made in a factory. Is it back breaking work? A lot of it is, yeah. But hey, that's just what the territory is, okay? Apply to all these factories. Nothing. Keep getting rejection letters from them. So I'm getting a little bit ticked off. The only thing I can figure, since it's not my not my incredibly good looks that that they say. Um, it's got to be my age, even though the applications don't have an age in there. Most of the places want to know when you graduated from college or high school. I don't agree with that to an extent. Is it age discrimination? You can say it is. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying with some of these positions, especially the ones who are saying that they can't keep people long enough, because especially the younger crowd, because they either don't show up to work or they're full of drugs. I'm sorry to say it, but that's what I've been always told by different hiring managers that I've talked to. These are hiring managers that used to come in and talk to my classes at school. And yes, I have reached out to these folks as well. For whatever reason, I'm just not getting hired for these. Okay, great. I said, as much as I don't like to do this, I'm going to go back to the substitute teaching thing at the local high school. Okay, not at the high school I was at previous. It's too long of a drive. I just don't want to do that anymore. And plus, my local high school pays more. Okay. JD, try looking for a job in a wheelchair. Similar struggles, I would imagine. I'm assuming it is JD. Absolutely. So, substitute teachers at our local high school, they are looking for substitute teachers at our local high school. I have a backstory there as well, which I'm not going to get into. It's irrelevant. That was 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So I'm not even going to get into that one either. But all the players involved at that time are no longer around. So I went to our local high school's website and it clicked on, by the way, yes, I am drinking and I'm talking about high school students. So what? So I'm working at high school. Maybe that's why. Anyway, went to their website. From their website, it says that you need to get to be a substitute teacher, you need to get a substitute teaching license in the state of Indiana. Don't know if it's every state like this, but in Indiana, you need a substitute teaching license, which still, that one baffles me as well. So, okay. Well, I used to have one. It has since expired because I was doing the full-time teaching gig. Okay. Go to the website and it has two options. Renew your substitute teaching license or get a new license. Well, I have an old one, so I might as well renew it, right? Click on that, start reading everything. Okay, no problem. I got no problem. Just going through this. Hello, welcome, blah, 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 blah. To proceed, click on the school system where you are employed. So wait a second. I'm not employed anywhere. I need to get a license to get employed. And I click on a drop down. It has every school system in the state of Indiana on there. Okay. Well, I had the school system I used to be employed in on there, which I'm not going back to. Said, okay, so maybe there's something I need from the local school system. No problem. But before I did that, I said, well, let me click on the new employee one and see if it's any different. Well, it's the same basically things, the same thing. You have to type in or click on the school system that you're employed in. Again, you're not employed. So I drive to the school, the superintendent's office, the administration office, talk to them there. As I'm talking to the receptionist, the lady up front, whatever her title is, very nice lady, professional, great, answer my questions, blah, blah, blah. The principal walks in. I know the principal just as an acquaintance because I'm part of the Lions Club here in town. The Lions Club runs the concession stand at the high school football games. This principal, she comes in the concession stand during the football game just to make sure everything's going okay, blah, blah, blah. So I have met her before. We have talked before. I found out that both of her kids went to my sister's preschool as well. So she knows my family. She knows my sister. She knows me, and she knows that I'm her brother. Okay. And she says, "Hey, how you doing?" And blah, blah, blah. She goes, "I'm great." I said, "I'm applying to be a substitute." "Oh, great. We need more substitutes. Thank you for coming over." I said, "No problem." And I'm keep talking to the receptionist. And as I'm talking to her, my neighbor comes in, who's also a big wig in the school system. She sees me and she goes, "Oh, hello," handshake. She goes, "Oh, great, we need substitutes. I'm glad you're here. You know, let's. I hope you can help us out." Blah blah blah. So, JD, yeah, it sounds like a government. Wait, it gets better here, JD. It gets better. So, I'm talking to the receptionist lady. Again, I don't know her title, so I just call her receptionist lady because she's the first one you see when you walk in. Okay. I don't know her title. Very professional, very nice. Can't speak highly about her. She was great. She helped me out. And I told her, I said, "This is what's going on." I said, "I need to find out if I'm employed with you before I can apply for a license." And she gives me that deer in the headlight look like everybody else is giving me right now. Like, huh? And she says, "You need to be employed here." I said, "That's what it says." It says I have to write down or click on the school system who's going to be employing me. She goes, "I don't know if we can employ you until we do the background check and you get your license." I'm like, "Exactly." Exactly. She says, "Just go ahead and put our school system down and we'll worry about the next part later." I said, "Okay, do that." And she also says you'll have to get a background check, which is not a problem. Understand you're working with kids, background check. I have no problem doing that. I don't know what it's going to cost. Obviously, there's going to be an expense to it, which another thing's pissing me off, but okay, whatever. So come home, go back to the website, put the school system on, and then start filling out everything else. You know, your name, rank, serial number type thing as you're going through it all. Okay, no problem. Fill out everything they need to fill out, checking off the boxes, jumping through the hoops, doing it all. At the end, before you hit submit, it says, "Please upload all the employment documents the school system has given you." They haven't given me any because I'm not employed with them yet. So I'm reading this again like that. I got to be reading this wrong. I said, "Nope. Upload all the documents the school system, the employment documents the school system is giving you." And then it says, if you do not have those documents, and I should pull it up to read it to you here, but I'm just going to paraphrase. If you don't have those documents, please create another document where you can explain to us why you don't have those documents. Yeah, exactly. So I just open up a Word document and I just type in there who I am, the school system I'm going towards. I used to have a substitute license, blah, 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 blah. And I submitted it. This was on Wednesday. I haven't heard back from him yet. So tell me how effed up that is. You know, no wonder they can't find substitutes. No wonder they can't find substitutes. So, and hey, JD, it might be something you think about. You know, be a substitute teacher at a local high school. I don't. If you've never done it before, I don't recommend going to a public high school, especially in your area. It might be kind of rough. And I should write a book about substitute teaching, but it's so much different now than what it used to be. In my substitute teaching career, I have substituted at 8 different high schools, and I think 7 different middle schools in Indiana and in Florida. Yeah, I've had my fill. I had the pulse of each school pretty much. I knew what was going on. You be there long enough, you understand what's going on. Okay, and I'm not going to get into. Maybe it'd be another podcast. I can get into stories about some of the stories I can get into for you guys. Holy moly, good and bad, good and bad. All right, so I shouldn't say bad. Yeah, we'll get into that another time. But it is a decent way to generate some sort of money in your pocket if you're willing to put up with a little bit. And once you understand it, it's easy to put up with. There are some things you need to do, in my opinion, to lay the groundwork, which I'm not going to get into it here. Yeah, JD, I'd be more than happy to. He said we should do an episode on it. Absolutely, my friend. Yeah, we can do that. So that's where it all stands for the job hunting thing. So then my sister tells me yesterday, because I explained, I tell her the story. Now my sister's entrenched in the school system. She has a preschool, She's had it for 34 years, 35 years. She does very well with her preschool. She's very well respected in my town. Um, I can't speak highly enough about how she does it. The class of kids coming out um, of her school versus other preschools, and my sister has degrees out the yin yang, masters and this and that, and then she's very good. She's complete opposite with me when it comes to these kids. Complete opposite. She's good. I'm just there. Hey JD, we can make it a joint production. Yeah, we can do that, JD. That'd be fun. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm talking with my sister yesterday. She says, "Why don't you just bartend? You used to do that, yeah, because all through the '90s. Yes, I'm an old man. All through the '90s, I was a bartender." She says there's a couple of new bars just opened up in town, and they're looking for people. Like, you know what? At my age, do I want to do that? No, but but I can see a lot of pros with that as well. It's not a place. My town is not some place that's going to be jam packed, 3 or 4 people deep at the bar. It's not like that at all. So it's more of a casual bartenderish type thing. So that might just be the way to go at this point. And like I said, that coupled with things going on online, starting to build up a little bit here and there. So that's something that I should really consider, especially since these other places I'm not making any headway there. Yeah. I got so much to say, but I don't want to say jinx myself, but it's really irrelevant because I don't want to turn this into a bitch session or me being a whiny butt about anything, because that's not the point. The point is basically to get a few things off my chest in a respectful way, or to tell stories in a uplifting way that will make you chuckle and like, wow, I'm glad it didn't happen to me type thing. So, and I don't want to sit here and bash anybody or badmouth anybody. So I try to be as respectful as I can. I hope I've done that. My local school system, the people that I have encountered so far have been nothing but model citizens toward me, respectful, polite, courteous, friendly, professional. Yeah, I can't give enough good adjectives about the people I've ran into there, which is a complete 180 from 8 years ago. We'll just leave it like that, okay? We'll just complete 180. And the school system that I did work for, the last school I worked for in the other county, same thing. 99% of the teachers, the administrators, the people I worked with, salt of the earth people. You could not ask for better people. There's a couple of bad apples in there, and I'm sure those people will say the same thing about me. It was like oil and water, baby. We just didn't mix it all, and I'm glad we didn't. So, but a majority of the people were great. And here is a tip for all you want to be teachers or anybody out there. Man, treat everybody with respect. You'll be shocked, or you would be shocked at a school system, the way some of the teachers and students treat the janitorial staff, which was unbelievable to me. How people are treated. I never once put the myself above or below, or anybody else above or below myself when it comes to the job that they're doing. Yeah, would certain teachers get paid more than the janitorial staff? Sure, Does that mean their job is more or less important? No, that's just what the job is. If somebody's doing a janitorial thing, if somebody's digging ditches, you should be just as respectful to the ditch digger as you are to the bank executive. I've been in positions, I've been in places. First of all, I've been in both. I've been the guy with the 3-piece suit standing in line at a restaurant. I've been the guy who just got off of digging a ditch. Yes, I used to dig ditches too. Standing in line at a fast food restaurant getting food. I've been on both sides of the aisle, so I know how it goes. I'm one of those rare birds that can speak from both sides, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it. And I can tell you, without a doubt, there are people that will snub their nose at the ditch diggers all day long. There are people who will snub their nose at the janitorial staff all day long. And it pisses me off when I see that. I was at the school, my last school. I'll tell you this story. This is a funny story. And a guy walks in and he's dressed as the county. He's like the head janitorial dude at the county, one of the like electrician type dudes at the county. He walks in and looks at me. I look at him, and you can just tell the students are looking at us both like, oh, what's going on here? And we're just staring at each other. And pretty soon I said, dude, what are you doing here? We went to school together. We graduated together. He comes over and gives me a big old bear hug, and the students are looking at me like, what is going on here? I said, "Hey guys, this is a guy who went to high school with me. We weren't best of buddies in high school, but we knew of each other and one of those kind of things. And so every time he came to my school, he always sought me out to find me and come over and say hi to me. And I made sure that the students respected him and they called him Mister blah blah blah, and also for the rest of the staff as well. I mean, it was just pretty funny how we did it. So just everyone's people are just doing their job. That's it. Be friendly with them. You both tie your shoes the same way. You both put on your pants the same way. For crying out loud. Just because one person is a banker and the other person is a ditch digger doesn't mean one is less or more than the other. Okay, keep that in mind. And yes, again, I'll say this and to my dying breath, I've been on both sides of it. I've seen both sides of it. And one side is not very pretty. Now, and it's just the opposite. The ditch diggers say bad things about the executives as well. So we have both sides of it too. Don't think that there's not. Unfortunately. So yeah, I'll get off that high horse now. There was one more thing I was going to talk about. You guys remember what it was? Because I don't. Yeah. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock my time. 10 p.m. on Saturday night, and here I am talking on the internet. Huh. And drinking. Talking and drinking on the internet. Breaking all the rules of live streaming. I didn't have popcorn. I just wasn't hungry tonight. Speaking of that, all right. I'm going to publicly say it now, and you can hold me to it on Monday. Tomorrow night's the Super Bowl, right? Traditionally, you just eat stupid food during the Super Bowl, whether you're by yourself or whether you're with somebody else. I'm going to a buddy's house. He invited me over to watch the game, so I'm going to go over there. It's going to be fun. We haven't seen each other for a couple of years, and he invited me over. He says, come on over. My wife's not going to be at home. She has to work that night. She works nights. He says, come on over. I'll make some wings and this and that and this and that, and come over. And we don't he doesn't drink hardly anymore. We used to quite a bit. Oh, I can tell you stories about that one. We used to quite a bit, but he doesn't drink much anymore, and I don't drink much anymore either. Yeah. Okay. Now, if I was over at JD's house, he would partake in other adult extracurricular activities, and I would and I would indulge in my adult beverages. JD, I don't know if we can if we can ever be in the same room together. Just so right now, I'm glad that we're internet buddies, or live stream buddies. I have podcast buddies. I appreciate that. I don't know if we can be in the same room or not. Oh man, sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it can get downright weird. It's like that panel I was on last night. So I might go see if I can find one again tonight just to see if it's on and come over here. But anyway, like I said, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 3 days from when I stopped eating at the Super Bowl until Wednesday evening, my plan is to go 72-hour water fast. That's the plan right now. I might hold off and start it. I can't start it on Monday because now I got to think about this. Because I don't know if I'm going to start on Monday because I'm eating that bad food tomorrow night, and I don't know if it's good to start the next. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I'll kick back. I'm gonna go only water and coffee. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, water and coffee. JD, why not? Get together. Well, that's something else we'll discuss one day, JD. I don't know why I'm wearing the headphones now, and no one's calling in. At least I don't have the phone call to call in, so I don't know what. I guess just so I can look cool. That's it. I can look cool with the headphones on. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I plan on doing a water fast. You say, Andrew, you're going to go 3 days without eating? Yeah, I've done it before, and it's actually not to get all scientific-y on you here, not to get all health and fitnessy on you here. Doing a water fast, is actually quite good for your body, believe it or not. If you go for longer than that, then you got to start doing different things and make sure you get the right kind of supplemental type stuff in your body, which I'm not going to get into a whole lot of details on that one. But a 3-day water fast is great. I did it once before. And a lot of times I go one day a week, I'll do a 24-hour fast, but a 72-hour fast, I did it once before. And this is my first foray into doing it. I guess my second. I remember the very first time I did a 24-hour fast, I thought I was going to die. This was in probably around the year 2000, 2001. I thought I was going to die. But I said, I'm going to go 24 hours without eating, only drinking water. And at that time, I didn't even drink coffee, just water. And I thought I was going to die. Yep. JD, you can drink, I'll smoke, and we'll tell each other stories. I know. That's the whole point. But I don't know if I can be in the same room with the smoke. That's just it, dude. That's why it's best to do it online like we do. So yeah, the 24-hour fast. So then a couple of years ago, I started doing once a week a 24-hour fast, and I was eating differently, and I felt really good about it. And I don't know why I got away from it, but I did. So I want to get back on that track. So 2 years ago, in January, the first 3 days of January, 2 years ago, so it would have been 2024. I did the first 3 days. I did a 72-hour fast. The first day, no problem, because I was doing 24 hours. So 24 hours is nothing for me anymore. 24 hours without eating, just water and coffee, no problem. The second 24 hours, so it's up to 48 hours, then it's when it started to kick in. Like, holy moly, I need to get something to eat. I said, no, I'm going to go 72 hours. After that 48-hour mark, around the 60-hour mark, I was fine. At the 70-hour mark, I did a workout because I know, and I said after my workout, I get cleaned up. So I got 2 hours before I eat something. I had so much freaking energy. I was bouncing off the walls. I should have done a second workout. I mean, it was balls to the wall, baby. It was great. I couldn't believe how much energy I had. And I was reading all kinds of stuff that people experienced that. And that at that 48-hour mark, at the 60-hour mark, I'm like, there ain't no way it's going to get energy. Are you kidding me? I'm like watching the clock, counting the seconds so I can eat again. So I did my workout, and my gosh. And I wasn't even hungry afterwards. I could have went for more. I said, no, I told myself this. So I want to stick to my plan. I don't want to deviate from my plan. Why? I don't know. I just didn't want to deviate from the plan, but I wasn't hungry at all. Like I said, I was bouncing off the walls. I had so much freaking energy in me. And but that's just the way it goes. So my plan is to do it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but I have something going on Wednesday evening. So okay, all right. JD, what are you saying now, JD? See. Oh, you'll be tempted. Yeah, you'll be tempted. JD's talking about the smoking, so we're a little bit delayed here. And for all those who don't know, when JD and I get together online, we have a new name for it. My show is called Popcorn and Whiskey. When he comes on, it's popcorn and whiskey and weed. Okay, keep that in mind. He says, "I'll be tempted to smoke when he's there. Smoking with a pro will be the way to do it." Yeah, you know what, JD? I'm one of the few out there who I have never done it. I've never even smoked before. I've never even put an unlit cigarette to my mouth. I've tried chewing tobacco a few times. Not a big fan. So I just don't do it. Never tried any of those gummies or edibles or anything. I refuse to. I refuse to put energy drinks. I think in my entire life, I've had one energy drink, and that was by mistake. And back when I was in college, they had something called No Dose. It's over the counter. It's like a legalized speed. I don't even know if they still had it anymore. And I took it one time because I was driving two other guys. It was late at night. They were drinking. I was dead tired. We had a 2-hour drive in front of us. I said, I got to stay awake because these guys can't drive and I got to stay awake. So I took No Dose and oh my gosh. I said, never again am I doing this. Whoo, mercy. It was like, I was talking fast. I was doing everything. When they say speed, I mean, it was speed. I said, no way am I doing this again. So that was the first and last and only time I've ever taken any kind of drug outside of alcohol or Mountain Dew. Huh? JD, I'll drink a glass of whiskey and you smoke. No. You could drink a glass of whiskey all day long. I'll be more than happy. I even provide it for you, but I'm not smoking. Sorry, not doing that. Not against it. If that's your bag, go for it. But I've been this long without doing it, and I'm not going to start doing it now. Sorry, JD. Have nothing against somebody who does it. I just don't want to do it in my presence. As of right now, as of this moment, at the time of this recording, as far as I know, at least, is not legal in the state of Indiana anyway. If it is, don't know. I'm going to assume it's not. Now, if I go 5 miles that way, it's legal because that's Illinois. If I go 5 miles that way, believe it or not, that's how close I am to the border. If even 5 miles, maybe not even 5 miles. Anyway, wow, yeah. Okay, so I think we beat that dead horse for a while, didn't we? We did all kinds of talking tonight. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do at this point, folks. If anybody has any questions, because it looks like I have several listeners on here, several watchers, several listeners. I appreciate you guys being here. I don't know where all you're listening from, where all you're watching from, but I appreciate you being here. This is cool. This is cool. And as I say that, 3 of them dropped off. That's funny. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hang it up for the night. I've had a ball. Thank you for being here. JD, my friend, thank you for coming on and being the guest host for the Olympics. We'll do this again this week, maybe Monday night before Raw. If you haven't been following Raw, we'll talk about that as well. WWE folks, WWE stuff, folks. So we'll stop it here. All right, guys, people, friends, family, foes, lefties, righties, MAGA, Cheers to MAGA. There, I'll say it. Cheers to MAGA. Absolutely. If you're anti-ICE, don't listen to my show, please. Yes, I'll be a prick and say that. Don't listen to my show. I support ICE. I support law enforcement. Simple as that. Okay. All right. I'll stop it here. But appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much. Popcorn and Whiskey. My name is Andrew. I am the face who runs the place. So until next time, ciao.